CJ Peaks finally returns to the starting lineup after dealing with an ankle injury for the last 4 weeks. On a receiving group with no players above 70 overall, having Peaks back on the field doesn't exactly help Bologna State's offense, but the emotional spark he provides the team as a leader could help in their passing game. Bologna State is coming off an electric victory against East Carolina last week in conference play, but the defense isn't too proud of their performance, getting shredded in the passing game. If this team is going to compete for any championships this season, head coach Giovanni Rigatoni knows they're going to have to tighten up and play a really solid game this week against Tulsa to stay in the hunt for a conference championship. This is the Rigatoni recipe, a college football dynasty played on Heisman difficulty from a former coach's perspective using the worst team possible. So smash that like button if you're ready for the defense to finally call a blitz, hit subscribe if you're happy to see CJ Peaks back in the lineup, or leave a comment to let Coach Rigatoni know that you still believe in this team no matter what happens. Let's get started. Bologna State is back in the driver's seat leading the American Conference, and a win this week against Tulsa will be extremely important to secure a conference championship bid. They're also ranked again for the second time this season, sitting at 23 and just a few spots behind Bologna Tech. Tulsa's base defense is a 4-2-5, which I feel like Bologna State has seen a lot of this season. So outside of all the things we've done up to this point already to attack this front and its coverages, we're going to add a few more wrinkles into our game plan this week, specifically from ace and the double single back formations. Of course, everything Bologna State does starts with the stretch play, and they feel like they can get the edge on the opposite side of the star player in the box, especially against two high safeties. They've run trap about 1,000,000 times this season, but especially against those three techniques, there's some really nice blocking angles, and that makes this a great play into this front. Power O should also be good from this formation, especially against two high safeties on whichever side of the center that they have less players. We have this play action boot roll concept that also works in both directions as a solid passing option from this formation. X follow should be solid into several coverages that they can run, including any match coverages from the 4-2-5. Y shallow cross is a similar idea, and it's another way we can isolate our tight end Taylor Harris on some of their weaker players. From our doubles formation, I wish I could say it was more complicated, but we're essentially running a lot of the same stuff as we did in ace, starting with stretch. This power G concept and pulling the play side guard should be there against their diamond look and their 4-2-5. Depending on what coverages we get, this Y glance concept could be a great down the field play for us to utilize Harris again. This play action boot concept looks almost identical to the one we ran in the ace formation and keeps all of our plays looking similar, which, by the way, if you wanted some tips on how to run this play or other concepts, there's a short series on my channel that covers all of that. And this dagger concept is very similar to the shallow cross and X follow play that we ran from ace, so we're keeping these reads really simple on our quarterback this week. On offense, Tulsa is running about 90% of their playbook out of one back gun formations, either shotgun or pistol. So since this is a fairly vanilla style offense and we don't have a ton of talent defensively, we're going to go back to our bread and butter defense that we ran in the beginning of the year against Louisville. A diamond front with 2-3 techniques and a nose, 3 linebackers, and a cover 3 shell. This also gives us the flexibility to spy the quarterback where it's needed since he's got decent speed. And against any trips formations, we do have the option to shift our backers towards the 3 receiver side if we want to. We don't have to. And we won't lose any numbers advantage in the running game on the backside when we do that. This week is all about playing solid defensively since Tulsa's offense is fairly basic in design. We don't really need to mix it up a lot. We just need to execute well on every snap and play our assignment properly. When they do go to the 2-back set, especially in those 2-by-1 formations, we have the option to pressure, and we will choose to do so from time to time. But in essence, we're trying to execute defensively on our base defense this week. On the recruiting side, getting talent continues to be a massive priority for this team, but still only one commitment so far has Bologna State as one of the worst recruiting classes this year right now in college football. There's a lot of players interested, but that's only going to get them so far. Coach Rigatoni must find ways to get solid commitments from high schoolers as well as the transfer portal at every position to join this team. Bologna State finished in the top 50 in recruiting last year as a 1-star program, and they redshirted many of those players to help build up a talent bench in the coming seasons. But they cannot take anything for granted in this area this season, especially with limited resources and limited time to get the players they really want. It's a hard road out here, but Coach Rigatoni is up to the task. He just needs to keep winning so players stay interested in being a part of his program, and they gotta find talent everywhere to make this team more competitive. So here we go. The Tulsa Hurricanes against Bologna State and head coach Giovanni Rigatoni. This Bologna State team got snubbed last year from playing in the conference championship, so this game is going to be incredibly important towards having an opportunity to win the conference this year and ultimately have a chance to play in the playoffs, where who knows what could happen from there. So Coach Rigatoni talking to Taylor Harris to start the game, got his boys ready. Let's go see what happens. First play of the game, Bologna State with the ball, goes stretch play, Bo Jackson, nice cutback read. 2nd and 1, they go inside ISO, Bo Jackson picks up a first down. 1st and 10, looking for the PAY glance play, did throw it, but unfortunately not able to make the catch. So 2nd and 10, we go Y shallow cross, Taylor Harris with a nice chunky yards there, and then on 3rd and 1, power G out of this pair formation. I honestly think Bo Jackson could have scored there, but I bumped into the offensive lineman, so wasn't able to make the play. 1st and 10, we go ISO, huge read again by Bo Jackson. You could just tell he was off to a hot start. 1st and 10, looking for the comeback on the boot roll, unable to make the catch, so 2nd and 10, and we're able to hit peaks early in the game. Try to give our team a little bit of an emotional lift. As a coach, sometimes it's a good idea to hit those guys early. 1st and 10, boot to Harris, he's wide open, and David DePaul just can't make the throw. 2nd and 10, looking for the dagger concept, and they bottled that one up pretty well too, so now Bologna State's in a 3rd and long. Try a halfback angle screen, and it's not there, so really a disappointing end, but they're able to get 3 points to start the game. First drive out for Tulsa. They start with a play action fake and immediately hit a seam route, which is the vacancy in this defense. So good job, coach. Respect it. 1st and 10, they go with an inside running game, not really there. Defense does a good job bottling that up. 2nd and 9, quarterback makes a little bit of a move, scrambles in the pocket, throws it up, and it's picked by Hunter Hayes, the center fielder in that cover 3, and you can take a look at Coach Rigatoni's reaction to this. He is fired up on the sideline. Let's go. So 1st and 10 for Bologna State. Bo Jackson, he's got the juice. You can just tell he's feeling it today. 1st and 10, next play. Thought we had him out of the backfield there, but just unfortunately not able to get the play off. And then 2nd and 10, Tulsa rallies fast to the ball. So suddenly 3rd and 11 already again for Bologna State. They try Y shallow cross and it's not there. So really aggressive decision here, but on Tulsa's side of the field, it kind of made sense. Couldn't really kick it, couldn't really punt it. So Bologna State goes and they're able to get a conversion at guess who? CJ Peaks. So 1st and 10 again, Bologna State looking for a rollout. Really covered well by Tulsa there. He dumps it off and we've got an offensive lineman hurt, so we'll make note of that. And then 2nd and 9, Tulsa again just rallying to the ball so quickly there. So 3rd and 9, what do? You get it to the guy who hasn't been here in 4 weeks. Find an isolation route and CJ Peaks wins it. Then on 1st and goal for Bologna State, cute little play coming out of the backfield with a toss, 2-back running game. It is 10-0. 1st and 10 for Tulsa, lay in the lumber. Our boy Isaac Smith making a big hit. And then 2nd and 10, trying to find some yardage. Get themselves into a 3rd and 6 situation, which isn't terrible. They're able to hit the seam pass, so just when you think you got Tulsa down and out, they're making a rally. 1st and 10, they try to run the ball, get decent yardage. 2nd and 7, try to run the ball. They set themselves up for a manageable 3rd down. They try to go with the counter run, coming back the other way with 2 lead blockers. Ain't happening on this defense. They're off the field again. Bologna State kicks off their drive with power G from the doubles formation. Then it's Bo Jackson time. I'm going to say something that's very controversial to Bologna State fans, so please do not get mad at me for saying this, but he looked a lot like Keontae Tyson on that play. For those of you that have no idea, Tyson won the Heisman for Bologna State last season and decided to transfer. But it's cuts and reads like that that made Tyson the nation's greatest player last season, and we are seeing something in Bo Jackson recently that reminds us of that style of runner. 2nd and 3 for Tulsa on their next drive out. They're able to hit the tight end in the flat route and get themselves a 1st down. 1st and 10, Bologna State tries to bring some pressure. You see what happens all season when they do that. They just get absolutely torched in the passing game or in some type of way. 1st and 10 for Tulsa, they go with the zone read concept. Quarterback is loose, so they got another chunk of yards. And then 1st and 10, going with the inside running play, they're able to get 4 yards out of that one. 2nd and 6, he's looking. He finally runs, and he's able to get another 1st down. So they're moving down the field here. 1st and and goal, able to make a tackle for a stop there. Second and goal, Bologna State got a rally to the football, and they're able to get that taken care of as well. Third and goal, we're bringing some pressure. Able to get to the quarterback in time. He throws it and is not able to make the completion, so they are able to get a field goal out of the drive. Bologna State's next drive out, they go back to this wide glance concept, and really they should have just gave up on this. David DePaul throws it away. Seemed to go back to this concept way more than we should have. It really wasn't there. We thought it would break open down the field, and it just didn't. So we force a 2nd and 21 situation, which is not ideal. Thought we could get the crosser to cross, but it turned out the linebacker had other plans, and he stays with the receiver and gets an interception. So is this game flipping on its head? Tulsa's able to make a nice run there on first down to get to 1st and goal. They try to run inside on 1st and goal. Not able to get much. 2nd and goal, quarterback looking. He's running for a little bit, but we're able to get him down. So it's 3rd and goal. Bologna State defending the goal line well. Quarterback runs. He's not able to get there. And then 4th and goal, they tried an inside running play, and Bologna State's able to get the stop. Not quite out of the woods yet with the ball on the 4, and this nose tackle is absolutely destroying our center. So we've got a pretty bad problem here, and 2nd and 12 didn't make life a lot easier. 3rd and 8, trying to see if we can fight and scratch and claw for every inch, but he's not able to get there. On 4th and inches, there's no way we're going to go, right? No, we're actually not going to go. We were just trying to draw him off sides, and we punted the ball. So 1st and 10 for Tulsa. Chance to get back in the game, get a sack. Bologna State takes a timeout. They're thinking they might be able to get the ball back here. 2nd and 15, he tries to dump it off to the running back, not able to get a lot of yards there, so then they force a 3rd and long, and on 3rd and 10, let's get that ball back. Absolutely not, Tulsa says, throws it on the sideline and gets a 1st down. So complete waste of a timeout for Bologna State as the clock continues to tick. And Tulsa potentially puts themselves in scoring position. They get themselves to a 2nd and 5, looking to throw in another sack for this 3-man rush that was doing work. Get it down to 3rd and 11. They try to throw it underneath and not there, so they punt the ball. And once again, Bologna State is majorly backed up here. This punter was doing a hell of a job. But we know how we're going to get out of a jam this time. Get it to your boy Teague to set the drive in motion, and then on 1st and 10, throws it underneath to Bo Jackson for a nice chunk of yards, takes the timeout, looking for the play action, wide glance, why not run it again? It hasn't worked all game, just keep going back to the well, and then on 2nd and 11, they try a screen pass, and that is not there, so kind of a frustrating series. 3rd and 11, just trying to get a simple play to keep the clock moving, and they actually end up getting a 1st down out of it, which is kind of crazy. And then on 1st down, Bologna State gets a delay of game penalty, so all kinds of craziness going on here. They're able to get a small chunk of yardage on 1st down, and then on 2nd and 6, they get it to the sideline, so they're kind of moving down the field, kind of not. Then they decide on this play they're going to get it to the receiver, and he's going to try to pitch it to Taylor Harris. Like, what in the world is going on? Let's take this game into the half, 17-3. So Tulsa gets the ball to start the 2nd half. They try an inside running game, not really there, so we get it to 2nd and 9. They go with a play action fake, dump it off to the running back out of the backfield. Not really a lot of yardage there, and then 3rd and 6. Tries to throw the curl pass, is there, so they are able to get a 1st down out of it. 1st and 10, they go play action. Again, Isaac Smith rallying to the ball. He made a lot of tackles today for us. 2nd and 8, looking to throw the swing pass to the tight end on the sideline, able to get a decent chunk. And then 3rd and 1, guess who? Isaac Smith, able to make the stop and force a 4th and inches. But Tulsa stays on the field on 4th and inches, and they're going to try to run for it. He just barely gets enough to get 1st down. Oh my goodness. So 1st and 10 for Tulsa. Did he just throw Bubba Van Claiborne completely out of his way? That was insane. Able to get a decent chunk of yardage there, and then on 2nd and 3, throwing it, not able to make the completion. Nice defensive stop there. 3rd and 3, throws it underneath. He is able to make the catch. So Tulsa, shades of East Carolina here with the efficiency on this drive, just dinking and dunking their way down the field, making plays when they need to make them. 2nd and 4, they try the jet sweep. They get it down to a 3rd and 2. Bologna State tries to get a stop on 3rd and 2. He can't get off the field. So it's 1st and 10 again. Inside zone, able to get 2 yards. Another solid stop, but they're moving the ball. 2nd and 8, they're finding the crosser, so it's now 1st and goal again. Tulsa now driving, and they power it into the end zone to close this to a 1-score game. So explain to me then why we're showing a kickoff. Please be a good reason.
And not shooting yourselves in the foot. Nope.
Oh, what vision. There he goes. Open it up. They won't get
Tulsa now with an opportunity to bounce back. That offense has been on the field the entire second half so far, so they're a little bit exhausted, but so is our defense. Able to get a good stop there on 2nd and 1, and then 3rd and 2. I honestly didn't think he made it, but they said he made it, so what can you do? 1st and 10, they go with a swing pass out to the tight end. He's not getting much, and then 2nd and 8, they're trying to run it inside. Again, that diamond front against the single back running game was just really effective. It's really been good all season, to be honest with you. 3rd and 7, quarterback looking for a deep shot. So 1st and 10, Bologna State goes stretch to Bo Jackson. Not a whole lot there. 2nd and 10, Bologna State goes stretch to Bo Jackson. There's a lot there. And Bo Jackson, I'm telling you, he just played an amazing game this week. 1st and 10, looking for Bo Jackson. Knifes it up there for a solid gain of 5. They give him a blow, and Cameron Teague comes in to get a solid 4-yard gainer. And then this was a very underrated play by Jackson to get the 1st down, noticing the edge was not going to be able to be obtained. He did a nice job there. Cameron Teague on 1st down, able to get a small chunk, and then Cameron Teague on 2nd and 7.
Oh, he's got some space. Got some room, headed to the goal line.
This backfield has been good, man. 1st and 10 for Tulsa. They go with a running play. Actually able to get 10 yards out of it, so a little bit of a disappointing start to the drive. Bologna State rallies on the next play, though. Tulsa actually loses a yard. And then looking for the sideline throw, it's your boy Dakota Mills, who is now playing in the slot. He's been so much better for this team since moving to the inside from playing on the outside corner spot. And just when you thought Bologna State was done scoring, it's Cameron Teague.
The give to the left side. He has the 1st and still on his feet. He's all the way down.
Nearly punches it in on that play, but then the quick toss that they ran earlier is able to get it in for Bo Jackson. It is a 28-point lead, folks. Tulsa with a run on the next drive. They're just looking to run the clock out. You respect this as a coach, you know, just not trying to do anything stupid, not trying to get anybody hurt. But then on 3rd and 6, they throw the ball, which was interesting, and Isaac Smith able to swat the ball away. And then 4th and 6, they decided to go for it, and they were able to make the conversion. So Coach Rigatoni honestly not super happy with what's happening here. They're continuing to try to throw the ball and stay aggressive, and look, I understand, and then he throws a deep ball and we get an interception, but they call us for pass interference. I thought Holland was playing the ball the whole time there, so I don't agree with the call. And look, there's a part of me that totally understands if you want to give young players some reps or just try to work some things in with this last-minute situation. I get it. To just leave your starters in and just chuck the ball deep, I just don't think is the right thing to do. And then they're able to get a touchdown out of it, so Coach Rigatoni says, well, screw it. If you guys are going to throw the ball around, we're going to do the same thing. And then he realized, I don't have to throw the ball because I have Bo Jackson.
They want to take their time here. Open space at the 25. And there is
So Bologna State ends up scoring 40 points for the 2nd straight week, and despite a little bit of disrespect from Tulsa's coaching staff at the end there, Coach Rigatoni was able to get the last laugh, and this running game has been looking very scary as of late, and very similar to what it looked like last year with Keontae Tyson. I'm just telling you right now, if Bo Jackson is capable of playing like he did today consistently, this team could do some serious damage as the season moves along. But another win for Bologna State in the conference will no doubt move them up the national rankings once again this week, and more importantly, help secure a conference championship bid for them to ultimately have a chance to play in the college football playoff. It's still one game at a time for this team and Coach Rigatoni, but they are getting hot at the right time and played well on both sides of the ball this week. Thank you as always for your support. You all have been making this so much more enjoyable for me to do this. If you are enjoying the content, please show your support with a like, subscription, or a comment. It all helps so much as a small content creator to get these videos shown to more people. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and we will see you next Tuesday on Bologna State Day. Have a good night.